Hi everyone, Lamisha here from LamishaSerf-Walls.com, bringing you another Mindset Monday tip for your week. Today I want to talk to you about what I call the rubber band effect, especially when it comes to the mindset. And the rubber band effect is really just a concept that happens as we start getting into sort of unfamiliar territory. As you are working on your mindset and you're pushing yourself to a new place in your life, or you're pushing yourself to believe new things, a lot of times we get stuck in this belief system that says, I can't go much further, or you start stretching and stretching and stretching, and you don't stretch it long enough in order for it to keep that shape. And very often we get this sort of snapback or this reflex that allows our mindset to kind of go back to our old thinking. Now, I hear this and I see this a lot with my clients, and often it shows up as a bit of sabotage that you're not really aware of, or these sort of beliefs that come out of nowhere. You have some massive success, things start moving along smoothly, and then all of a sudden something happens in our mind where we say, kind of, alert, alert, this isn't, safe territory. We don't know what happens past this point. We don't have any experience here. We can't trust this. And then our mind subconsciously will create situations to bring us back to neutral, bring us back to what is our normal. Now, if you've ever read The Big Leap, this is also similar to what we call the upper limit problem. And this is something that just happens. It's part of the growth process. It's part of the growth process for everyone. And the key is to understand that this may be happening and to really be aware of how it shows up for you. So I call it the rubber band effect because for me, our minds are very flexible and very elastic, but they have a certain shape in general until we kind of work it out to get it to another level. If you've ever had a hair tie or a rubber band, after you stretch it for so long, eventually it will be stretched out and it will have a bigger shape. It's the same thing with your mind. You have to take consistent action and consistent shifts in your beliefs in order to continue to stretch it so that eventually the normal size is a bit wider, right? And that's exactly what mindset is all about. So you hear me talk about this mindset practice on a daily basis. The reason I stress that is because thinking a thought today doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to believe it and continue to believe it tomorrow. I can say I'm abundant today. I can say I'm a millionaire, and I can believe that wholeheartedly today, but that doesn't mean that I'm really going to believe that in my subconscious mind tomorrow, right? It has to be programmed. It takes some time. So when you're thinking about your mindset, do not get deterred or frustrated if by some chance, you end up or you feel like you're moving backwards. It's totally normal. It's part of the process, but the key is becoming aware of what's happening in those moments. What is the trigger that's sending you back to start or sending you back a couple of steps, right? What is the feeling? What happens? Is it when you get so close to a certain number in your income? Is it when you get so close in intimacy with a relationship? Is it when you have so much freedom when it comes to your job or your business, right? What is the determining sort of point or trigger point that causes you to retreat back to what was normal? And then also look at your belief system, right? You really want to pay attention to what is it about that point that feels uncomfortable for you, and then choose to continue to work through the mindset and just see it for what it is. It's just a moment in time. It's just a potential sabotage, but you can move through that. And that is really what this is all about. Every time you level up in your life, you are going to hit a point where it feels uncomfortable. And the reason is because you're not used to moving into that territory, right? It's the same thing with, when you lose weight. You are used to a certain body weight. You're used to looking a certain way. And it's also the time when a lot of people get to that point and they go, okay, I'm done. I've made it. But this is a lifestyle. This is a mindset that is going to be, stick with you for the long term, ideally, and continue to grow and evolve. So this isn't something that you do for 6 weeks and then you're done. This is something that you have to consistently do if you want to continue to grow. So I want to know from you, what are you, just looking back at your life, what are the moments when you found yourself in sabotage mode, or what areas of your life do you see this show up? Because I think a lot of times we find ourselves sort of wanting to be comfortable. And if you're growing, you can't always be comfortable in that growth process. So you really have to make sure that you're creating that mindset to continually stretch and to be okay in those moments of discomfort. And just remind yourself that this is part of the process. And if at some point you end up taking a couple of steps back, you know what's happening, you know where you're going, and you get back on track, right, with your mindset. So let me know where that shows up for you the most. Post a comment below this video and let me know. And of course, as always, if you want some support one-on-one to help with your mindset or to identify what your sabotaging behaviors are, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to chat with you to see if we are a good fit to work together. In the meantime, have a great rest of your week. Continue to stretch your mindset. And if you haven't done your mindset work today, get on it. I promise it will serve you and your future self will thank you. Have a great day, guys. Bye.